It's that time again. Time for some real talk about real issues to enhance your real life. Whatever you think, whatever you know, whatever you feel, Tanya doesn't mind talking about it. Get ready for some real talk that is always rated R, because Talk with Tanya has got to be relevant. Talk with Tanya has got to be refreshing. But most importantly, Talk with Tanya has got to be real. Tune in right now for Real Talk with Tanya White.
Hello. Welcome to another episode of the Real Talk with Tanya White show. As you can see, I got my co-host back today for this episode that you will be hearing in September, Nicole Cooper. How are you, Ladybug?
I am brilliant on today's day. Yes.
Are you ready to talk about this book right here?
I mean, I have it actually highlighted. Yes.
Highlighted.
I am so excited.
We are going to real talk about transforming your life with none other than Dr. Michael Ige. Now, Nicole, how do we know Dr. Michael Ige? We know a doctor who is also an author and a brilliant math teacher.
Yes.
Puts it all together. How do we know him?
How do we know him? We know him from the Excel Center Clarksville Adult School, free education. He is magnificent, wondrous with students. We love Dr. Michael Ige.
Not only has transformed our life.
And also the thing about Dr. Ige that I always share with students and people, he is a mastermind at breaking down the basic principles of finance, percentages. If you care about buying a house, if you care about buying a car or anything, a big type of purchase, he shares with you how, the why, and how to get to.
The why, and how to get to. Listen, we are blessed, honored. We are in presence of not just royalty, but wisdom, because we have transformed our life since he became a Clarksville champion. We're going to talk about his debut book, Transform Your Life. I remember when he came in my office, Nicole, he's like, I'm going to release a book. I said, okay. You know, that's when people say I'm going to release a book, I'm all ears because I'm a book nerd.
Yes, you are.
He started telling me about it. I was like, I cannot wait.
What's it about? What's it about?
He broke it down. And
he broke down the origins of why it came into effect from the first place. And that was the brilliance. And I was like, whoa, blew my mind. Wait till he shares with you.
I love people who say, I got a book and when it's coming out. He wasn't playing. It came out when he said July 2nd. I ordered mine when I was on vacation. And I started reading when I got back.
You sure did.
I started highlighting.
And you got your highlighter.
I got my highlighter. Listen, he's a part. His book quotes are a part of our staff meetings now. I know he's gonna get sick of us, but that's all right because we're transforming our life. So let's bring Dr. Michael Ige on to the Real Talk with Tanya White show for the first but not the last time. Dr. Michael, welcome.
Yes, Dr. Ige.
It's my pleasure. I'm so excited to be in here.
We're gonna have fun, Dr. Michael.
So much
That's
fun.
cool. I'm all for it.
And look in the back, you guys. You see in the back, he has Transform Your Life books. We're gonna talk about how you're gonna get that books. Look, let's all three of us do it at the same time. We're not playing.
We are not playing
your life.
And because we're not playing, one thing that's just burning, and I know the audience is burning to hear, please share with us, how did this book, Transform Your Life, come to pass? What was the origins of this book? Why did you write it?
Thank you, Tanya. Thank you, Nicole. Let me just go straight to the origin of this book. Having been a math teacher for 7 years at the Excel Center in Indianapolis, Geometry was a subject that a lot of math teachers do not really like to teach, but all the while I was teaching it. But students kept bringing up questions. You know, a lot of people do not like math. First, you got to be patient to be able to teach people, but the question keep on recurring. When am I going to use this? Where am I going to use it? What's the need for me to use triangle when I'm out in there? But then, when they ask those questions, I try to answer them. But then, one of the topics that's very common with geometry is transformation. I kept on looking at that topic each time. When you talk in terms of transformation, look at transformation in terms of change. And then it has 4 components. You talk in terms of translation, reflection, rotation, and dilation. Now, in the math class, in the geometry class, what happened is students are given assignments whereby shapes and figures are actually taken through change in those 4 components. So that is what gave me the idea in terms of, this could be a book. Then, as it was customary in that school, we used to have a 5-minute chat in the morning with all the staff, and then everyone will be on the schedule. Then when it was my turn, it was like a day before the day I was to give the 5-minute talk. Then I was now thinking, what will I talk about tomorrow? But then sitting on my table was a diagram of geometric transformation. And then I looked at it. I was just holding it and looked at it. And then from there, the idea just came. Transformation means change. And these are the processes by which we do play around with shapes, figure, rectangle, triangle. We translate it, meaning we move it. We reflect it, meaning we take it through, like look at image of it. We rotate it in terms of we make it to go around a circle, and then we dilate it in terms of we can enlarge or reduce it. Then I got the idea that what are we doing in this institution? We are transforming people's life. So what I did was to get the diagram, which is just a geometric transformation depicting those 4 things. And then I printed copies. So I gave to all the staff. It was like, are we doing geometry or are we doing maths? So they were very curious. But when I went into it in terms of, when you think in terms of transformation, you are changing students from where they are into a new position. When you talk in terms of reflection, then I said reflection has to do with what are you shooting out in terms of your image. Then, for instance, you talk in terms of, are we reflecting good behavior to our students? They will see whatever we're doing. Then, in terms of rotation, how are we looking at things from different perspectives?
Yes.
And then in terms of dilation, are they increasing or are they reducing?
Are they increasing or are they reducing? Okay.
Yes, increasing in terms of the knowledge, increasing in terms of, or decreasing in terms of behavior, positive behavior, reducing in terms of negative behaviors. You know, by the time when they go through all these 4 areas and they are graduating, they will actually be turned to a completely different person from the person that joined the school. That was where they thought about transformation. And you won't believe that I had it for almost 7 years before I said, this 2025, now.
So it's taking you 7 years to construct, to feel when it was time for it to birth itself. And then it's now. So I say this again. Those who are working on a book, birthing a book, you have some time, but keep it all in here. Let it have its moment. And I hear that you made applications to put when your students were, when you were there, you would talk about application, and you said, hey, apply these 4 applications,
Mm-hmm.
and then you saw a different person because that transformed their life. Those 4, I should say, applications, distinctions.
Yeah.
So in that goes in his book. Look, I got mine bookmarked up, Dr. Michael. It's page 16. You said change is inevitable. Okay. It is the driving force behind every moment of creation and the inevitable conclusion of every phase of existence. Change is inevitable. Change is constant. To embrace change is to embrace life with all its complexities and possibilities. And that's where people fall short. You say, oh, I don't like change. I don't like change. I don't like this. I don't like this. And when you broke it down to me that first time you talked about geometry, I told you straight off. I hated geometry in high school. Dr. Pat Waters, my geometry teacher. I hated geometry, but listening to you break that down, I was like, man, I should go back and look at it in a different way. Yeah. Why? I want, and this is probably in your book. Why do people resist change so much, Dr. Michael?
The first thing is this: when you talk in terms of change, you can never come into this world without undergoing some form of change. After all, there are 2 things that come together to form you, to form human being. That's a form of change. If those things did not change in terms of their form, in terms of their worth, there cannot never be any creation. Then when we see, I'm just trying to depict the fact that change is like our shadow. It's like our strength. It goes right from the formation till the end of our life. So when it comes to when the life is created, and then in your mom's womb, you undergo a lot of changes. So let's look at those areas. One, in terms of translation, there got to be movement in the womb. That is depicting translation, moving from one point to the other. In terms of reflection, you find that the baby in the womb reflects what we do. They hear voices. They do all kinds of things. In terms of rotation, mostly when the baby is from the womb, you find that they do rotate. Especially most people at the time when it's time for them to come, then what happens? They turn around.
Yeah.
That's
rotation.
You know, you said something really interesting that stuck out to me. I mean, all of it, clearly. But 2 things that stuck out. You said a shadow is inside of like transformation. And I thought in my head immediately, you said creation. And I thought creation is like the sun. So creation, and you were like transformation, like you have to create. Because your question, Tanya, was what? Why are people afraid of change?
Yes, I'm prepping towards that. First, my response is to first of all demonstrate to show to you that change is constantly with us throughout our life. So then the last aspect has to do with dilation. When the baby is formed, the baby grows, gets bigger. That's the demonstration of change. Now, but then, why is it that people are afraid of change? There are many reasons why people get scared of change. And one, when we look at the reason why people get scared of change, one, there are certain barriers that they witness. One, fear of failure. People are afraid of change because, I don't know if it's going to be successful, it's going to be a failure. Then some are afraid of change because of they want everything to be perfect. Before they take so perfectionism is another thing that makes people to be scared of failure. Then lack of resources is another cause. if we look, you have no control over where you find yourself under the sun. You may find yourself in the United States, you may find yourself in a small village in Africa. Wherever you find yourself is already giving you a certain status in terms of whether you find yourself inside the room of the vessel, or you find yourself inside the room of a poor farmer who has nothing other than just the small hut.
Yeah.
So that is one. So people that have access to resources too, they could be afraid of change, and those that do not have access to resources too could be a barrier. So that's one of the reasons why people change. And then the last thing is, as I've stated in the book, change can be overwhelming. Can be overwhelming. As you could see, you can pick from the experience you have with students in our adult high school. You find that a lot of them are afraid. Even when it comes to graduation, some are not ready to graduate.
Right.
Why? It's just the fear. Those things, the fear that what? I have never taught myself that I will walk through the graduation thing, put on a gown, and people will be looking at me. It could never happen. So those are the reason why people are afraid of change.
I love the way you started out with the being a baby in the womb, because you said so many things. I've never had a physical baby, but a lot of my family have babies. And one thing women they're very careful when they're pregnant. And so they fear failing to complete the pregnancy, especially if they've miscarried before. They're afraid of not being perfect and carrying that baby. And then they don't know what resources they even need. That's why they don't have them. And then it is overwhelming. So change is like birthing something. Going back to what you said, Nicole, it is the creation and then the birthing of things that you don't even know. Even if you had multiple births, every birth is different. And so when we think of change, all of that goes in. I'm afraid to fail. I'm overwhelmed. Especially if you got the perfection syndrome, everything got to be perfect. No, because it's not. Things are going to change whether you like things changing or not. 100%. And that goes back to I love the way you make quotes in your book and then explain them. One quote says, if you want to change the world, change your perspective. That's where we're going to next. And then one of my favorite quotes I go to is Wayne Dyer. You said, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And so let's talk a little about perspective. You said this book was based on perspective, how people say, I'm not going to use this. What am I going to learn from this? Because their perspective was limited. How can we change, even though they say, the way you look at things, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. But how can we start changing our perspective if we're so overburdened, so stuck into stinking thinking is what some people call it.
Thinking.
Thank you. The first thing is the aspect of perspective is covered under rotation. So when in the book, when you hear rotation, the next word that goes along with it is perspective. Now, what is rotation? Rotation in the basic, in terms of the geometry, means you are given a figure and then you are asked to rotate the figure in a circular movement. So now, but when you want to translate that into our ways of life, and the personal growth, you talk in terms of perspective. How do we think in terms of perspective? The first thing that comes to mind is problems.
Yeah.
Human life is full of problems. The only time you are free of problem is when you are 6 feet below.
That's right, Dr. Michael.
So true.
Yeah.
I'm free of problems when you're 6 feet below. That's why you always say, no problem.
Yes.
No problem.
You
So
got
now
no problem.
the thing is, even though you feel you do not have problems, but the thing is that to even stay alive, you got to solve problems. If not
Yes.
anything, you need to feed yourself. There is nothing you do. You just need to. If you do not feed yourself, you cannot continue to stay. So now, here is the thing. When we now talk in terms of solving that problem, because our life is problem solving. So in terms of solving that problem, the first thing you need to do is to identify the problem.
Identify the problem.
Identify.
So once you identify the problem, then you start to think, how will I be able to solve this problem? So now the aspect of rotation, where rotation comes in is this. You think in terms of looking at things in a circular format, meaning you are in a point, you are not making any move. Unlike translation, whereby you're moving, but under rotation, you're sitting in one point, which will now be your axis of rotation. It's like when you sit in that place, look at 360 degrees. It's like I'm sitting on a chair now, and I turn round, round. So that is rotation. Now, here's the simplest thing, which is part of the thing I use in the book is, you are in a house. Let's imagine you are in your house. You can see that house from different angles, from different beauty, from this different vision. How do you do that? When you walk out of your house, stay in the front. That's one point. When you look, the view that you see will be completely different from when you move to the another side of the house. It will be different from the view you see when you move to the back of the house. So in the same vein, now, if you now have a problem, you can look at that problem from those different angles, from different areas. Now, when you now talk in terms of that, in the book, there is a matrix that I put in there, which has to do with how we do rotation. We all know in simple geometry, we are familiar with what is called 360 degrees, which forms a cycle. So what the book is saying here is, for you to follow that matrix, you have to do it in stages. The starting point is, it's like you are at the center of a cycle. You are at the 0 point.
Yeah.
So the first thing is, once you identify the problem and you want to find solution to that problem, then you got to first of all move a bit. In which case, that's you do your first rotation, and that rotation will just be moving in 90 degrees. 90 degrees. So what does that imply? It implies that you now start to look at it from a new perspective. That's the starting point. That this problem that I've been facing for quite some time, wow, let me look at it from another angle.
Yeah.
So that is what. Then once you start that, then the next movement is going to be 180 degrees movement.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a major shift for you.
A major shift. So as you're explaining this, you know what I'm visualizing?
Yeah.
A merry-go-round. When we're on a merry-go-round, we're at the same point. But as the merry-go-round, we do not move. And that's that. And I caught that when you first start saying, when you're doing rotation, you don't move. You stay right there. It's everything around you moves. And whether you want to see a different perspective, you're going to see a different perspective because everything is moving around you. You don't move.
And as you're sharing this, you guys, what I'm also getting here is that you're talking about rotation. I'm hearing it as reality.
Yes.
Changing your reality. You have on page 31 something that really stuck out to me. And this is part of your sentence, not the full sentence, but you have progress is born from the determination to turn vision into reality.
Yeah.
I think that that's huge, because this is what you're speaking to in terms of the rotation.
Yeah.
180, right? And it's about changing, because you mentioned earlier about vision. And so now we're looking at, okay, if we change our vision, we're changing our reality. So what I started with, my reality was this, because that's what I was thinking, right? And now I'm changing the reality, and where I'm looking at the house. Now I'm looking on the side. I'm looking from the back, from the backyard. Changes my reality and my perspective and how I'm looking.
And then in addition to that, the next will be when you now move on to 270, which is like 390 degrees. And at that point, you've gotten into consolidation stage.
Yes.
Then the last stage will be when you complete the evolution.
When you complete the evolution.
You complete the evolution, meaning you've been able to scout around your environment from all angles, from all directions. Then there are two things that could come. It's either you discover a solution from it, or it gives you an idea of how you are going to get the solution. But look at it. If you did not make that effort to scout around you, you might even miss opportunities of solving that problem within your vicinity.
Yes. Now, Cooper, spend on all that knowledge from the doctor. Boom. Break it down into reality of when we talking about, and we talk about this all the time, Dr. Michael. It starts with the mindset.
Yes.
And because we don't see change, it's because people are not changing their minds. Cooper, elaborate.
So what I'm hearing here is that, like, if you can't see something, meaning you can't see a different perspective, you can't move it. If you can't move it, then you can't manage it. And change your reality. It's about the rotation. Yeah. So those students, people who are watching, is like, you know what? I don't have it. I don't have enough. You might be having a conversation with yourself, as many of us have conversations in our head, and we have a scarcity conversation, and that's called I don't have enough. So, okay, so how do I change I don't have enough? Well, you have everything you need. It's about your perspective and how you're looking at it. So if you change your perspective, what in layman's terms and easy terms, you change your reality.
Yes.
And that will give you it can trigger you into changing and growing your life.
Yeah. It can trigger you. Now, because you're on the rotation, you're moving regardless if you want to move or not.
Right. It moves for you. It moves for, and that's the thing. That's the thing about perspective. Once you have one perspective, then you're going to have another perspective, and you're going to have another perspective. You can't stop the growth. Yeah. You can in your head, you can deny it, and you can be like, it's not there, but you can't unlearn what you do see.
Yeah. And then another thing is this. It's a continual thing. It's just like you do one evolution once and then you stop. Once you complete that, the cycle continues again. You continue to scout around. You continue to scout around, because some things could have changed by the time you turn now, and then you go back in again. You meet different things entirely.
Entirely.
It's like the environment. It could change anytime.
Because why, Dr. Ige? Why does your environment, why can't it change anytime?
Oh, because when you talk in terms of environment, you are within some forces that you do not have control over. Like, for instance, you are in your office, rain is falling outside. Do you have control over when the rain will fall? No. So what do? You just have to bend to adjust to the rain falling. But if you've been sitting like in our office, you've been sitting all through, you're not hearing any voice, the weather has changed, and the thing is just falling without any noise. If you do not stand up to scout around you won't know what has been going outside.
100%.
Absolutely.
100%.
Listen,
100%.
y'all better go get this book right here. And we're not going to hold you long, but I've got to talk about, we talked about rotation and perspective. Now we're going to close with dilation. And because this is, and you got one part in here, building momentum for exponential impact. You know it, where we are. That's our theme, elevating your impact. But before we get there, it says dilation. The dilation process unfolds as a deliberate journey of expanding our understanding and perspective on experiences and knowledge. It's deliberate. It is a journey. And when you get on that deliberate journey of understanding perspective on your experiences and knowledges, then you can start building momentum for exponential impact.
Yeah.
Okay? Listen, I had to read this because I didn't want the doctor to expound on it, because that's, you know, impact is my heart right now. Okay? Elevating our impact. In this section, it says the famous quote by Ralph Marston: "What you do today can improve all of your tomorrows." It speaks to the profound impact that present actions can have on shaping a better future. Geometric dilation works similarly. Just as objects expand rapidly under the influence of a growth factor, and personal growth accelerates through deliberate action. It is similar to the law of momentum in human behavior, which suggests that reinforced behavior persists, overcoming obstacles and disruptions. Much like Newton's law of motion, which states that an object in motion stays in motion unless acted upon by an external force. Momentum carries us forward when we continuously push toward our goals. Before the doctor answers, Nicole, how do you feel about what I just
said? You shared a mind-blowing piece right there. That's a piece in itself. I mean, you talked about growth. You talked about there's resilience there, the bounce back method, intentionality, right? And like also reinforcement. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. I mean, these are elements, principles in life, all that you're going to need. And even if you don't know you need them, they give them to you. Life hands them and says, here you go.
Here you go.
Yes, 100%. I mean, this right here is talking about you having the bounce back when you get pushed back. What is your new perspective? Each time life asks you this, this is what this book is sharing. What are you going to do? Every time you get knocked, it asks you, what are you going to do? Are you going to shape? Are you going to reshape? Are you going to create? Are you going to be intentional? Are you going to repeat? Are you going to ask questions? And are you going to apply? And then repeat again. Each time you learn something new.
Now, let me briefly just talk about dilation. It's about the notion that man is in motion.
Boom! Say it again, doctor! Say it again!
It covers the notion that man is in motion.
Man is in motion.
Everything in life is in motion. Your life is in motion. So you got to move. Where do you move? You either move up or you move down. Some people have this false notion or false belief that everything is static. Nothing is static.
Nothing
if
is
you are
static.
not moving, everybody around you will be moving.
Wait a minute, doctor. We're not going to pass that. Boom.
That's so brilliant. Say this again.
If you're not moving, everybody still around you is moving.
Exactly.
So that means what? Life doesn't what? Stop.
You're moving back.
It doesn't stop. You
now,
keep moving.
Let's look at it from our life example.
Yes.
When we start our life, our parents are in control. But things setting, before you know it, you overtake your parents, then you take charge of it. What happened? They move back. You move forward. But then you have the opportunity to determine whether you want to go up or you want to go down. And it's got to do with all aspects of our life. Maybe habits that we form. It could be positive habits. It could be negative habits. And the idea is you're either growing or enlarging or reducing. So the idea is we got to enlarge things that will make positive impact in our life. You got to increase your educational level. That's going to have impact in terms of your lifetime income. But if you decide that, you form this habit, maybe smoking, maybe things that's going to not healthy to your body, then that will have impact in terms of reducing your time on this world, on earth. So it's both ways. It's both ways. It's both ways. And when you talk in terms of the aspects of life that needs enlargement or reduction, what are the things that affect it? One, mindset is one. The kind of mindset do you have? Do you have a mindset of, you got to be increasing, or you have the mindset that, I cannot change? But if you have that perception, you say you cannot change, you're static. Every other person is moving. You're moving back. Then you talk in terms of the skills. Are you enlarging or reducing your skills? That's why you need to go to school. You need to get exposure to everything. It's like when you talk in terms of the artists or musicians and all the this thing, you cannot just do one album and stay in there.
No.
You got to increase. That's dilation for you.
Right.
Yeah.
And in terms of relationship too, you can, how do you manage your relationship? How do you grow it? Then in terms of life goals, what are the things you want to do in life? Do you want more money? Or do you want less money? Then in terms of health too, you got to decide, I want to reduce things that are hurting my life. I want to increase things that will extend my life. We've seen it from so many examples in life. The thing is, even things that we strive for all along could be burdensome to us. Could increase other aspects. Some people, they strive all their life trying to get money. But then when they get money, they get exposed to other things, negative things that will bring troubles for them. At the end of the day, that money will reduce their peace of mind.
Right.
That's not.
Because it's not for sale.
It's not for sale. Listen, y'all better get y'all copy of Transform Your Life. Dr. Michael.
Yes.
Where can I get a copy?
Is that?
Where can I get a copy? There you go.
They are available everywhere. They are available online, on Amazon, and even in the bookstores and websites. Like I have a website, All Well Books, with the publisher. As a matter of fact, on that website, there's a 20% discount for people that buy through that website. All Well Books.
20% discount. Transform Your Life.
Yeah.
Go to there.
This is it. This is.
Are you doing speaking engagements or like keynotes on the book, Dr. Michael?
Yes, those are implants in terms of promoting the books all over the place. The thing is this, one of the things I want people to get into it, because the moment you hear the word geometric principle, it's like, I don't want to do any crunch. There's no figures in terms of you doing any number. The simplest diagrams that are there are just to explain, the concept to you. You're not crunching any number, you're not crunching anything. But it's just to emphasize the fact that things that we learn in classrooms could actually be used to apply could actually be applied in our lives, and then so that we can move up. Because if you don't make that conscious effort to move up, you'll be moving down.
That's
Move,
true.
because you're gonna move either up or down.
Down.
You
gonna
can never stay in one place. Never.
Or you're not.
No, you're not. Cooper. As we wrap up, because we can talk all night about this.
Oh, yeah.
All night. You dropped
You shall be
knowledge.
Knowledge.
You dropped so much knowledge in here, and I just love the piece, just this part that you said just a minute ago. You know, the diagrams are not, it's not a book about math. This is about applying principles to your life. So, in other words, folks out there, what is it? What does it do? It's a map to get your life.
Then, in addition, I need to quickly put in that if you look at the way the book is written, every chapter has some examples of cases of people who have actually exhibited that in their life.
Yes.
I deliberately use people that are not really living. People like Mahatma Gandhi, people like Grover Washington, who was an African American that did a lot of invention in terms of improving agriculture.
Yep.
We talk in terms of people like Jeff Bezos.
Yeah.
And then people like the founder of Apple, Steve Jobs.
Yep.
You know, that's that. Then apart from to end each section of the book, you find example that you can actually read that will demonstrate those principles in action. And then you now have a practice to end each of those chapters. Meaning, okay, how do I apply translation in my life? You have it there. The schedule is there. Do this, do this, do this, so that you can see evidence of translation in your life. Do this, you can see evidence of rotation in your life. Do this, you can see evidence of dilation, and how you can check yourself. And then the thing is, the last chapter has got to do with bringing everything together. Bringing everything together. But so it's not just, I'm going to be staying here. I'll survey my surroundings. No, you got to move, which is translation from one point to the other. You got to look at what have I been doing in the past. How can I improve on it? That's your reflecting. Then you got to think in terms of, I want to go up or I want to go down. The choice is yours.
It's mapping on your life. This is mapping. I love looking, and every element in this book is mapping elements, principles of your life and elevating it. Or, as you say, go down.
Up or down.
Up or down.
I'm going to read, I love you got examples. And one of the examples in the dilation chapter is the woman who inspired me to do what I'm doing, Oprah. 1986, when her show aired, that was the first time I saw me, an African-American full-figured woman in front of the camera. And I followed her since then. And so I love this section, adopting a visionary mindset. Does that sound familiar, Nicole?
It sounds really familiar. I wonder who on this particular podcast has been notating this for over 2 years. Yes.
Visionary mindset says, you're right, Dr. Michael. A visionary mindset embraces exponential change, as seen in the journeys of some of the most successful innovators. Take Oprah Winfrey, who rose from a complex background to build a global brand. Her success was driven by her ability to see the infinite potential in her endeavors and to continue expanding her vision despite obstacles. She's just a little African-American girl from Nashville, Tennessee, single parent family. Nobody in her family hoped for her to do anything. But she expanded her vision. Adopting a visionary mindset involves expanding your thinking, taking creative risk, aligning your actions with a long-term vision, and constantly pushing yourself to grow. It's about recognizing your potential and the potential in the world around you, and then working toward it with persistence, adaptability, and a sense of purpose. That's all Transform Your Life is. When you get a vision for your life, and despite of whatever obstacles, knowing that it's not immediate gratification, it is a long journey of learning, of building, of adapting,
of discovery.
At each level, each new season is new. You're not the same person that you were. I'm not the same person I was last year, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, because whether I wanted to or not, life changed me. And so what I've done in all of where I am now, I learned to adopt that mindset of, first of all, get a vision, and then be committed to your vision despite the obstacles. So I love this book. I love this book. You need to listen. All of my people out here who have book clubs, this needs to be on your top books to read. And then when you read it with your book club, invite Dr. Michael as your virtual guest or in-person guest so he can sign your book and give you more wisdom about it.
And I do have to say, Dr. Michael, 7 years, you're worth the wait. So go get this.
7 years. Thank you for being committed to this project. Cooper, what do you want to say as we wrapped up?
We wrap up, I really just have to say, I mean, I am blown away. One, that I get to dance with you. I get to be innovative with you. And we can all, as a group here on this podcast, we get to write together on a vision that is expansive, creative, and elevating what? Impact. That's what I have to say about that in transforming your life.
Transform your life. Dr. Ige,
thank you.
Listen, I know this listen, if you need help promoting this, that's my other services. I listen. I see you on many stages, okay?
Yes. We need a TED Talk. We need a TED Talk.
Yes. Everybody listening to this episode, get with Dr.
Let me just give you something to go with. Just 4 words that capture everything about the book. One, when you think in terms of translation, think in terms of shifting your focus. When you think in terms of rotation, think in terms of changing your perspective. When you think in terms of reflection, think in terms of altering your perception. And lastly, when you think in terms of dilation, think in terms of expanding your capabilities.
He dropped the mic.
Expanding your capabilities. Yes.
He dropped the mic.
I think you dropped the mic, Dr. Michael.
I think he dropped it. I know he dropped it. Dr. Ige, tell people how they can invite you to hire you for their conference so you can bring your books and sell them, and they pay you gobs of big money.
First, I have a website, which is the website of the publisher of the book. It's allwellbooks.com. That's one way. And then my email is just easy, just my name.com, drmichaelige.com, at gmail.com.
At Gmail, Dr. Michael Ige. Ige is IGE.
Yes, just everything.
At
gmail.com.
It's
That's
simple.
The easiest way. Those are the ways by which I could be reached for any call. And at that particular website, there's a link in there that you can actually put in your details, and I'll reach out to anybody that needs my service or gets interested in this. But we just launched the book, so there's a lot of ideas going all over.
Go get your.
If you need hype,
go get your copy.
We are your hype. We are your hype. You know, like Beyonce has the Beehive. We're the Ige Hive. Get this book right now.
We are it. Transform your life. There we go. Boom.
Listen, this has been amazing. Dr. Michael, we didn't scare you, right?
No.
We love to have fun, and we love great conversation with just extraordinary people like yourself. Thank you, Nicole, for
thank you. We love transformative conversations. That's what we live for. That's what we do here. And we shared with the world, audiences, people who want to shift who they are. This is where you find some shifts, some changes.
All my educators and principal sorors, get this book for your staff, for your students in high school, college. Get it. You know how to get contact with me, and I can get you contact Dr. Michael. Listen, Real Talk with Tanya White, it's been amazing, transforming your life. We've had real talk about that, giving you insight to how do I do this thing called life. It's in this book, Transform Your Life. Thank you again to my sponsors, Casper and Cheryl Stockholm's authors of the books Divorce Proof in Your Marriage, Mastering Eve, Mastering Adam. If you would like to be a sponsor of the show for economic price of $99 a month, please email me at realtalkwithtanyawhite@gmail.com. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Real Talk with Tanya White. Y'all know Tanya spelled Tanya. Don't put no O in there. White is the color. Until next time, you guys, as I always say, love your life, live your life, and laugh through your life. I love you guys. Bye-bye.